Hey guys, so today we're going to test out a $5 pastel palette. So, story behind this. The other day I was at Walmart just kind of browsing the makeup section, and they have a pretty extensive selection of Profusion at my Walmart. So I was just looking at some of the palettes. They had a bunch of their 5-pan palettes, and then I saw this one, and I had never seen this before. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talking about this, and I was standing there trying to decide if I should buy it because, I mean, hello, $5 pastel palette. That sounds like something I would be interested in. And so I was scouring the internet for reviews of this, and I could not find any information on this palette. No reviews on Walmart's website, even though it was on there. Couldn't find it on Profusion's website. I was searching YouTube to see if there were any reviews on it. Couldn't find anyone talking about this palette on YouTube. Scrolled all the way through Profusion's Instagram, couldn't find it. So I don't know what the deal is with this palette, but long story short, I just couldn't help myself. I had to pick it up for $5 just to test it out because I just had to know if it was any good. So I do have a little bit of a history with these Profusion 10-pan palettes. I did have the Spectrum palette a while ago, and that one, another colorful palette, was just not very good. So my expectations are down low, but so many people rave about these Profusion 10-pan palettes. I also have their Mauves palette, and I really like that one. So we're gonna try it out today for the first time. I'm so excited to dig into this. This palette is nowhere on Profusion's website, so maybe it's like a Walmart exclusive palette. If anybody knows anything about this, if anyone else has tried it, let me know. But there were several of these at my Walmart store right next to like the Neons palette. They had several other of the 10-pan ones, but this was the one that really called my attention. So this has, of course, 10 shades. 5 of them are true mattes, and then 5 of them are sort of like mattes with a little bit of shimmer mixed in, but I wouldn't call them shimmer shadows. You know, they're kind of like ColourPop sometimes does that. I think they call them sequined shadows. Did I just pull that out of my butt, or is that the real term for that? I'm not sure. But anyway, so let's just give it a try. I've already primed my eyelids with the CoverGirl Lid Lockup Primer, and I did grab my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk that I might use. This can help with, you know, making pastels pop a little bit more, so let's just see what these are all about. I'm gonna start out the look with the shade Friendly here, which is almost like a, I don't know, it's like a light terracotta kind of shade. I don't know, it's pretty. Figure that'll be a good shade to start out the crease, and I kind of want to maybe go for like a green and yellow look today. So let's just start out with Friendly there. You know, sometimes I feel like this CoverGirl eyeshadow primer can make shadows go on a little bit patchy because it sort of does stay a little bit tacky on your eyelids, which can be a good thing for making shimmers pop, but not so good for mattes. So I'm just going to keep that in mind as I use these. If there is a little bit of patchiness, it could be partially due to the eye primer. In fact, let me go ahead and set, it's already too late on this side, but I'm going to go ahead and set like from my crease up on this side with powder just to help with that problem. But seriously guys, I was scouring YouTube for this palette, searching Profusion Pastel Palette. Not a single video came up. I could not find anyone reviewing this palette. I don't know when it came out. I don't know how long it's been out. I'm very confused. Just seems like a mystery, you know? Because a lot of these 10-pan palettes you see all over the place. Like there's, you know, the mauves, the violets, the bear one, citrine, which that one has been kind of on my mind for a while too. The emeralds one, there's so many, so many of their 10-pans. And they've got some larger palettes too. So anyway, this was the one that I was like, well, I need to know if it's any good. So for $5, I feel like it's worth it for me to let you guys know. So far, definitely blended much better on this eye. I'm not gonna fully blame that on the shadow. It was looking a little patchy over here. I do find that sometimes this eye primer can cause a little bit of patchiness. But I am hoping for this to be better than Spectrum, because that palette was not the greatest. So I don't know, I just felt like giving Profusion another chance with their colorful shadows. I'm feeling some of these kind of lime greens. I'm gonna start with that, which is kind of like the deepest green. I don't know why I'm using my finger. I'm gonna use a brush. I'm gonna start by applying that to kind of the outer third of my lid. That shade is called Good Luck. definitely having to build that shade. And I feel like it's not wanting to cling to like this part of my lid. I guess there it goes. Okay. I mean, that's going on pigmented enough, right? Blending over that a bit. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Alive, which is this kind of yellow-green. That is one of the shades that has some shimmer mixed into it. Curious to see how these perform, because those other two shades I've used so far are true mattes. Let me try applying that with a finger. Hey, that picked up. Very pigmented. I'm just going to tap that kind of in the middle of my lid. It's showing up, man. Surprised. I really wasn't expecting much from this palette. I was like, you know, probably gonna be disappointed just like I was with Spectrum, but I mean, well, that's not bad. Not bad at all. If this turns out to be really good, I'm gonna be so excited. Kind of wanna go a blue route now, in a weird way. I was thinking of using this light pale yellow, but now I'm like kind of interested in these shades down here. Let's dig into Wishful here. This light, what would you even call that? Aqua blue. Just pat that. I'm using my fingers for whatever reason. Let's try it with the shader brush, just because that makes more sense. This one feels a little drier. The fact that this is showing up is blowing my mind right now, because I was like, these are going to be chalky, they're not going to show up. Like, sorry Profusion, but just based on my experience with Spectrum, I wasn't expecting much, so. Can you imagine if I had used the NYX Jumbo Pencil? Would have been even better. That shade did go on a little sheer. And that is another one of those kind of shimmery ones. I'm gonna try with my finger. I mean, it's definitely showing up though. I'm gonna take a mix of Bashful and Friendly to just kind of blend out my crease a little bit. It's kind of nice that you have this somewhat deeper shade in here, because a lot of times with pastel palettes you don't really have any deeper shades. I mean, not that that's really a deep shade, but it's not like a fully super light palette, you know? Like that's something you could use as a crease color along with these shades. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of this next blue over called Clarity. That's more of like a sky blue, and use that in my inner corner. Adding a little bit more of that yellow-green to the center of my lid just to bring it back to the forefront. All right, so I'm just gonna take some of Friendly again on my lower lash line, just kind of on the outer half. Debating whether I should do eyeliner or just kind of leave this look. I think I'm gonna do black liquid liner since I've got it right here in front of me, just using my ABH liquid liner. I'm just gonna use two shades from my Norvina palette since it's my 1 month 1 palette. Just using these two lightest shades here, Base and Dreamer. Base for my brow bone, and Dreamer layered on top of that blue for the inner corner. All right, so liquid liner is on. I also applied mascara. I used the E.L.F. Lash It Loud mascara on the top lashes. Really not impressed with this mascara so far, by the way. And then the Undone Indie Lash on the bottom lashes, because this one smudges really bad. So then for blush, I already had on bronzer and highlight, but I went ahead and applied some blush, and I used Milani's Luminoso. I want to go peachy on the lips, and I mainly want to wear Liar from Urban Decay. This is such a beautiful peachy nude, especially with the Mented Peach Lip Liner that I love, so I'm going to apply this first. Going in with Liar from Urban Decay. This is one of their new, like, reformulated Vice lipsticks in the cream formula. I really like that formula. I'm going to take a little bit of E.L.F.'s Seriously Satin Lipstick in Cream, which is a lighter nude, just kind of in the center of my lips. Alright, so there we have the finished look. I only used, I guess, 6 of the 10 shades in here, and one of them I feel like I didn't really get to know that well because I just kind of mixed it with Friendly. So obviously this is totally just a first impressions, not a review. So I will definitely continue playing with this and report back, but initial thoughts, I'm not unhappy with it. I really thought I was going to try this and it was just going to be garbage, especially because I did swatch a few of the shades when I first got it, and I was not impressed. I don't know, they just felt kind of dry. They looked a little sheer in the swatches, but swatches don't always tell the full story, so I was especially impressed by that shade Alive, the like yellow-green. I felt like that went on really pigmented, and everything showed up. That was my biggest fear, was like, I mean, pastels are hard to formulate as is, from what I've seen at least, and especially if it's that inexpensive, like I'm just afraid these aren't going to show up at all. But even without using a white base, they did show up. So far impressed, at least more impressed than I thought I was going to be. If anybody has any more information on this palette, like if you've tried it, what were your thoughts? Have you seen it in your Walmart? Is this totally new to you also? Like, I just didn't even know this existed until a couple days ago, so very curious to hear your thoughts. But thank you so much for joining me today for this little makeup playtime. I had so much fun just hanging out and playing with a new palette. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I have a whole drugstore playlist that I can link down below for you if you enjoy drugstore content. And hopefully I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye!